the legs high, Cindy. So it's only two. Okay, so pointing and flexing is pointing and flexing.
Can I?
What's that? Oh, yes, please do. Yeah, I always forget.
No
Thank you.
worries.
All the way to the right. Oh, no, yeah, that one. We need fans because it's kind of like humid in here, you know. So point, flex, point, flex. Okay. Then we come to bound angle. And when you come to bound angle, you're holding your feet and just really upright with the spine, lengthening, and then lowering. And when you lower, you bring your head down towards your mat, towards your feet, stretching the inner thighs. Yep. Deep breath in and exhale. And then we have rocking the baby. So if this is really hard for you, you can always go on your backs. It's like, you know, should be problems, but if you can't, bring your foot to the crook of your arm. You got it. And then you hug and you rock. Like this, you're rocking the baby. This is the baby's head. Look lovingly at your baby. Draw the leg closer in. Elongate your back. You got it. Okay. And it should be working your outer hip. Right? One more breath. We'll close in. Exhale. And then release. And we have second side. So we grab hold of the foot. Bring the foot to the crook of the arm. Hug, bring the other arm around under the baby's head, and rock. Now, so long spine, rock, and this gets us into the hip joints. It's also like vacation time. A lot of people are on vacation. Yeah, the market is full of tourists. Okay, keep hugging, hugging, hugging. Good. And then release, okay? Back to the soles of the feet together. Imagine your feet are like a book, a closed book, okay? It could be any book you want. It could be Babar. Okay, so, and then you open the book. So you take your hands, yeah, and your thumbs are kind of like by the ball of the foot, and you open the book. And maybe the spine of the book is a little tight. Maybe it's broken. And just see, you know, can you open this book and can you, maybe you see the plot thickens. Yeah. Just playing with that idea that you have a book at your feet. Breathing in, exhale. So that also helps to open up the hip joints. When we come to like a future pose, I'll let you know. This is one of them, bound angle. And then we release and stretching legs out. We're going to go on our backs and do a few poses here. So pull knees into chest and press your feet into the mat. Come up in a bridge pose. So, you know, we think grounding poses are first chakra. First chakra, a lot of balance poses in first chakra, but also if we go into bridge, we think about what makes this bridge high is how your foundation of your bridge, your feet press into the earth. So tuck shoulders underneath you, look high, breathing in, exhale. And then release and grab hold of your feet. Outside feet, go wide with the knees, stretching your low back, happy baby. Good. Breath in. Exhale. Looking straight up at the ceiling. And then soles of the feet are together. Bound angle. Outside feet resting to the mat. Hands are onto the belly. Breath in. Exhale. Inhale, expand your belly. And exhale, feel your belly deflating. And then interlace fingers and press palms up overhead. Let your little fingers touch the floor as you extend. Stretching your ribs. Stretching sides. Then from here, let's go ahead and grab hold of your right foot. Use a strap if you need to. It's a leg stretch. And taking a moment to push up through the heel. Good. And because I want it to be strength in addition to stretch, in yoga, we have to have a strength component. You're going to lift, like you're lifting your head, you're still holding your foot, lifting your head, bringing your head towards your knee, and engaging your core to go there. Stretch, but you're also using your core. And then lower. And we do the other side, taking hold of your left foot, pushing up through the heel. See if you can straighten the leg. And again, we'll lift the head, bringing your head to your feet towards your knee. It's okay if you bend your knee to go there, that's fine. And try to contract your abdominals as you lift and get your shoulder blades up off the mat. Release your head down, release the leg. Good. And then this one helps a lot with tree. When you take your right leg up in the air and out to the side. So inner thigh stretch. That will help us with some of the balance poses coming up. Keep your left foot down and breathe. And then we'll come to a twist, left hand holding the strap or the foot, and bring your right leg, it can be bent if you want, or straight, as you come across to a twist. And as you twist, you're turning your head to the right, your right leg goes to the left, you got it. Hold the strap, hold the foot or the strap with your left hand. There you go, you got it. And see if you can anchor your right shoulder down. That's hard for me. My right shoulder wants to come up and I have to work to get down. Good. Back to center, hug knee in, and come up. You're hugging your knee and you're coming up with your head to knee, and then release your hands and walk like you're reaching past your foot, your hands reaching past your foot. And then the other side. So now we're going to take the left leg and bring the left leg out to the side, inner thigh stretch. Keep your right hip down, up. And then let's come across for the twist. So right hand holding the left foot and coming across. Good, good. You're rolling onto your outside right hip, turning your head to the left, anchoring your left shoulder down. And go ahead and flex your left ankle and breathe. So one thing about warm weather, we got another hot week ahead here, Seattle. The warm weather does render you limber and loose. And back to center. Good work. So from here, we're going to go ahead and come up, and we'll come right to child's pose. So once you come to child's pose, reach your arms forward. If you need a little extra padding, have your blanket under your knee. Lower your head, stretch your back, and breathe. Good. And this is definitely a grounding pose. It's very simple, but it's like, shoo, just completely grounding. From here, from child's pose, let's go ahead and walk over to the right, walk up the mat to the right. grab hold of your left wrist, lower your head and breathe, stretching left side of your body. And then let's go the other way. Walking over to the left and grabbing hold of your right wrist, lower your head and stretch the right side of your body. Good. And then from here, we are coming to Virasana. So some are okay sitting on the heels. You might be happier sitting on a block. And Virasana is basically, it's a nice quad stretch. Everybody's different, so I'm gonna come forward a little more. Some, this is plenty, some need 2 blocks. If this bothers your knees, you'll need 2 blocks. Interlace fingers, press palms up. Good that you can be right sitting on your heels as well. And then from here, you start to go back. So if you're on blocks, that's one thing, right? Some have to do one leg at a time, and some are like, wow, this is kind of cool. You can come off the block, sit maybe between the heels, or maybe sitting on the heels. Sitting between the heels really going to give you a quad stretch. But yeah, just go to the place where it works for you. You're getting quad stretch, right, Olivia? Yeah, okay. And usually if you do a lot of running and lots of, your squash and racket, the court sports, anything, right? As I mean, you're hiking, you're gonna be tight in this area. Some of you can come all the way down. Wherever you're at, take 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale. Exhale. If you're doing one leg at a time, go ahead and switch. You can, breathing in. And exhale. And then we're going to press back up. So once you press back up, you're in hands and knees. And the best way to stretch, I'm coming forward on my mat and just extend one leg and press the heel back. Just kind of like you're pushing out through the heel, stretching your calf muscles. And then you have the other one, extending your left leg and pushing the heel back. And then downward facing dog. Your hands are on the mat, spread wide. And you stretch. You could pedal, bend one knee, press opposite heel down, back and forth. Really working at stretching your legs. And breathing in and exhale. And then we have upward facing dog. So from downward facing dog, bring your feet together, come forward to plank, and then upward. Now you might wipe your knees down the first time around. You're going to look up, turn your head side to side, and look up again. And then from here back to child's pose. So grounding, hopefully your forehead comes down or close. And then we're coming to plank again. And this time from plank, we're doing side plank. So we're going to do each one twice. I'll modify the first one. My one knee is down. It doesn't matter left or right. One knee is down, one arm extending. Good. And the top leg floats up. You got it. It's kind of nice, all these mirrors. And you're flexing the ankle of the leg up in the air. Yep, try to get the leg as high as you, not lower, but as high as you got it. And maybe that top arm can come up over here. And then let's go ahead and do that the other direction. So you first come to plank, bring one knee down, come over, extend, and then the top leg floats up. And top arm floats up overhead. Trying to get the heel as high as the hip. That's hard to do. Flexing the ankle. And breathe. Go. See if you can make that look easy. Breathe again. I'm with Olivia. I'm with Olivia. It's up. It's not as high as the hip. And then here we go. Back. We're coming to the first side again. So you're coming, now you might do exactly what you did, or you can scissor your legs or stack your feet for plank, okay? If this is hard on your wrist, you might consider coming down on your elbows. Good, good work. Breathing in. Yep, you can do the, that's good. That's a little easier on the wrist. Breathing in. Yeah, and you're strong in that one. Both of you are really strong. Breathing in. Exhale, and then let's go the other way, shifting over. And is this about grounding? These are not the grounding poses, but I don't know if you have to source your strength on the ground. Breathing in. Exhale. Strong arms, strong core. Woo! And then come out and press your hands back, downward facing dog. Good work. And we're going to come onto the bellies. So we come to plank, Chaturanga. There you are, onto your belly. And we're going to just reach the arms back. So wake up the back muscles. We woke up the obliques. Now we wake up the back muscles. Feet pushing down. Don't strain your neck. And then come into Sphinx, which is really a variation on Cobra. And some of you will be just like this. Some will extend the arms, going deeper. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. This is very much earth feature pose. Snakes can climb up trees, but they don't take to the air, right? Breathing. Good, and then lower, and now grab hold of your feet. So again, might be another quad stretch. Might be one at a time, or maybe you grab hold of both and just draw your heels in and press your pelvis. If you're doing one at a time, let's stay here for a moment. I'll let you know when to switch. Yeah. So if you're doing one at a time, go ahead and switch. If you're able to hold both, maybe you can come up into both. Okay, we're not, we're not as warmed up maybe as we could be, but yeah, oh, that's good. And breathe, inhale, exhale, and then lower. And from here, you're coming on to come back to child's pose for a moment. We'll always come back to that, this nice center place where you can stretch out your back. And one of the feature poses is steer. You might need a strap for the arm part. So from steer, from hands and knees, think of right knee comes in front of the other. That's one way to come into it. You could be sitting on a block or sitting right on your mat for Gomugasana. And we think of this as one of the feature poses of like the grounding, right? How the sense of cow giving of its milk, ghee, paneer, butter, curd. Okay. All right. So here you are, one knee over the other, and then whichever leg is on top. I'm like, where is that strap? I want to get it back to undo. Okay. So your right leg on top, so opposite arm comes up. Whatever leg is on top, the opposite arm comes up. You got it. And either you're going to hold the strap with the top arm and connect, or maybe you can hold without the strap. Okay. Together, I always look down. And then once I have it, I bet this is really easy for Penelope and Joey. There's two kids with us here online. Yep. And stretching. Yep. Breathing in. Exhale. Stay in it for a moment. So Olivia, I'm going to show you something. So, okay, I'm going to do it like this. So you have it's your left leg, left arm, sorry. Grab hold, and then bend. So it's going to be more of a stretch. Yep, you got it, and then holding. Hold everything, right? And then all of us, I can see it. I'm like leaning Tower of Pisa, come a little more upright, and breathe. And then release, and we'll do second side. So you could just go from sitting, you can go back to hands and knees, left leg over the other, knee over knee. And then it would be my right arm, right? So if I'm using a strap, many of us are, right? So I would take the arm up and then bend the elbow. You got it. You got it. And your elbow's pointing up, right? So like so, or the hands maybe connect. And then once you have the connection, notice how we tend to lean towards the lower arm. Elongate sides and see if you can look forward and breathe. So you think of just a gentle creature that eats grass. Yeah. Earth poses that are grounding. One more breath here. Inhale. Beautiful. Release. Come on out. Okay. There's another seated one that we'll do that is very grounding. That's a teacher pose. And it's called Shavasana. So your legs are extended. You bend your right knee. Reach your arms up. You might need your strap to reach for your left leg. Either you're reaching or you're like, you use a strap. And Janu, basically, it's head to knee pose. Janu is the Shirsha's head. So Janu, Shirshasana, reaching for your knees. From time to time, lengthen your spine and then lower. This is a great pose for the back if you really feel the stretch along the right lower back. All right, let's come on up and add a twist. Turn towards your right knee and look to the back wall and breathe. So one thing you can do as you're turning to the right, actively turn your head to the left. The neck stretch. And then bring your head back to the original position. Nice. And we have second side. Before second side, let's come to tabletop. Fingertips are pointing in towards you. Bend your knees. Take a deep breath in. Make a tabletop out of your body. Reach, look up at the ceiling, look back. Good. And lower. And second side, straightening your right leg, bending your left knee using strap if you need to reach the arms up. Again, and then reach for your right foot. Then, if possible, especially if you're holding with your hands, you're reaching for the outside foot. From time to time, stretch your back and lower it. Wonderful stretch. And you want to breathe into the pose. Again, from time to time, stretch up your back. And then let's go ahead and reach the arms up, take a breath in, and twist towards your left knee, keeping your sitting bones down if possible, and look back. Yep, breathe. So right hand across left knee. Easy. Nice. And then as you're twisting, go ahead and take your head the other way. So you stretch your neck. And then take your head the original way. Wonderful. And then we come out. And again, we have a tabletop, or if you want more challenge, reverse plank. So the feet are together. If you're doing tabletop, knees bend. If you're in reverse plank, extend, pointing your toes, straightening the legs, tilting your head back, and breathe. And lower the work. To lower, rolling out the wrists. And we come to downward facing dog. Hands are spread wide. Reaching back. Stretch your legs. And then we'll walk or spring to the front of the mat. Once you're at the front of the mat, another, nice forward bend here. Take your hands to your elbows, let yourself hang. Let go of your neck. Good. Feeling how you ground in all the poses, whatever part of your body comes in touch with something like your feet now against the floor, that's a point of ground. And then soften the knees, come on up. Sweep the arms up into the air, palms touch. Reach back. And then hands to heart center. We're gonna go wide on the mat. You can go left or right, listen here. So we're going wide and we're looking at squats, because squats are really, really all about earthing and grounding. So you push your knees back. You can shift from side to side. Yeah. And it's more like horse, right? And it's really wide. It's more about like really getting into the inner thighs. Push on up. And then from here, horse, which is all about strength, okay? So you're trying to keep upright with the back. You can interlace fingers. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. H-E sound. Stay upright as you're here. Breathe in and exhale. Or inhale through the nose. Exhale mouth. We're going to do it again, and if you like that breathing, that's fine. Or we're going to do Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi means to conquer. You're conquering a busy mind. So Ujjayi is more like you constrict your throat. And I don't know if you'll hear it very well when you go closer to camera. I think you'll hear it here. It's loud. And it is nasal breathing. Your mouth is closed. So I'm going to be facing this way, and I'm going to make sure that when I come anywhere, I'm not pitched forward. I'm going to be a little more upright. That's the hard part, is being upright. So inhale, exhale, and it's going to be all mouth closed, Ujjayi breath, 2 rounds. One more exhalation. Good. Ooh, come up. Yeah, your guys will talk to you. And then come up to standing, and mountain is amazing. Like mountain, let's try just feet all the way together. You're a mountain. This is the traditional way. Closing the eyes. You can have hands to heart as well. Breathe in. Exhale. What's it like when you go wide with the feet? Going wider? To me, this is more grounding. So you take, it's not the traditional way, but it seems to work better for me. For others, you find your way. Hands could be at your sides, eyes closed for a moment. You are the mountain. Breathing in. Exhale. And then we'll do our sun salutations, okay, which has not been it. Yeah, so I'm just going to be, I'll face this way, and then the other I'll face this way. See both. Okay, so hands are to heart center. 12 movements. Reach up, arch back. Feel how it's like backward, forward, bending. Soften the knees, come down, holding the hips, and then straightening the legs, lowering your head towards your knee. And then extend the spine, look ahead of you. Exhale, fold in. Right foot steps back. Pause in your low lunge for a moment. Back leg is straight. And then your back heel comes down, and Warrior One is one of our feature poses. Warrior One, Virabhadra comes up from the flames, just like a phoenix rising. Coming up from the flames, you're going to reach your arms up and feel your strength. Virabhadra comes into being, to right or wrong. Warrior. Breathing in. Exhale. And I don't know if Joyce, if you have a moment to take a picture of Joey and what Joey and Penelope in Warrior One, I would love to see that later. Breathing. Exhale. And then come out and come down. Downward facing dog. Good. And pedal. Should feel nice to be here. Pedaling and maybe both heels pressing down. And breathe. Come forward to plank. And in plank, look at your mat. Your knees can stay up or knees are down. As you lower onto your belly, you can come onto elbows or press up into cobra. Elbows are close into your side as you press. And the cobra's looking around, always looking around, right? Looking around for the mongoose. And then look ahead of you, look upward. Let's add child's pose. Forehead dropping down, stretching your back. Aware of all the points in your body that come in contact with earth. I mean, really, we think mats, but earth. And then pressing back, downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up into the air, and right leg will come forward. Sometimes you have to carry it forward. Yep, good. And then stay in your low lunge for a moment, stretching your left hip flexor. A good runner stretch. And then from here, gather, like you're gathering energy from the earth. You're creating yourself into this incredible warrior, rising from the flames and extending. It's still extending and very dynamic. Every cell in you, dynamic. And then lower and bring your left foot forward. Your feet can be together. Stretch into your legs. Look ahead of you. Elongate your spine. Fold in. And take the arms up. It feels so good to be moving, to feel like you're moving your lymph fluid, to feel strong and flexible. Look up. And hands to heart center. So just take a moment in mountain, breathing in. Exhale. Second round. So these look so beautiful. These are really good. They just feel, they flow nicely. So reach up. Lift, arch back. On your next exhalation, come forward. Reach the backs of your legs, lower. And your head closed into your knees. And then extend and look ahead of you. Fold in. Left foot steps back. Pause in your low lunge. Back heel will come down and rising from the flames is Virabhadra. Got a big job to do. Riding along, reaching up. Extend. Maybe reaching the arms further back. Hands to heart. Lowering. Downward facing dog. Feet are together. Come forward to plank. And then from plank up, you're going to go halfway down, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down, and then up into upward facing dog, extending your feet. Yeah. Let's add child's pose. Lowering your head, stretching your back. Downward facing dog. So left leg will swing up into the air. Swing up high, look at your hands, and swing the foot forward. Left foot forward, you got it. And in your low lunge for a moment. Right hip flexor stretching and then back heel is down. Rising from planks, reaching up. Still extending. Reaching up and down. And then hands to heart center and forward. Feet are together and you're standing in mountain. Okay? I bet you can guess it. Tree is very grounding. Okay, so tree on your mat or off your mat. Let's go ahead and bring your foot up. Some do use a wall, hang on to, it's fine. The best way to do tree is when you have shorts on. It's really because you have like your foot against your skin of the inner thigh and it can stick more. You're like, no. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath, okay? Come on out and release. And we'll do second side. Foot comes up. Back to heart. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Come on down. Okay. And so we're coming to a squat. And those of you by the bar in class, you can always take on the bar if you want it for Balasana or just coming right to your squat. So drop down and stretching your low back. The weight tends to be pitched forward. I want to be a little more upright. Heels are down, good if possible. This is another earthing pose, one that is very grounding. Now you're going to start to take your hands to the inside ankles and to the outside ankles, and then lift your pelvis and come to a forward fold. Yeah, like you're trying to fit your body to the space between knees. You're just moving in that direction. And then bring your right hand on your low back and turn to your right. And that might be it. Oh, you never know. Maybe your hands will clasp, and maybe not. And some are straightening the leg, turning, and then release. Come on up. Sweep the arms up. Inhale, create space, and come down again into your squat, dropping down. And there's your low back stretch. For many, it's like the happy place. The hands come inside the ankle and around to the outside ankle, and then straighten your back, straighten your legs. Yeah, stretching, trying to really send your sits bones up, all hamstrings. And then let's take the left hand on the low back. You're twisting, that might be plenty for you. Or maybe your hands connect. So yeah, there you go. Your right hand under to the inside right knee, right thigh, and hands connect. Breathing in. Exhale. I like the stretch. Even when one can't hold it, it's like, whoa, so a lot of hamstring and low back. Release, and again, oh, come on up. And arms are good work. And so eagle is another one. Eagle is another grounding pose. Okay, so basically you bend both knees, and then your right leg wraps around the left. I'm not mirroring it for you. Right wraps around the left. Another variation, a little easier, is to make a 4 and extend. Left arm on top of the other and wound up here. And breathe. Deep breath in. Exhale. And then let's come on out. Woo-hoo. And do the other side. Okay. So what a little motivator, eagle is really good for our joints of the body to, if people have arthritic joints or just tight, it's really good for the joints of the body. So knees are bent. Your left leg now comes over the other. And your right arm wraps over the other. And there you are, wound here, eagle, and breathe. Great, and release, and come on out. Good work. Let's go wide on the mat, and we'll just come to a forward bend. Come forward, feet are really wide up, feet are running parallel to each other, and then just walking your hands forward on the mat. Walking your hands forward, and or on your hands are on the floor, depending how you are. So you're stretching your back. You go. And it's like, imagine someone pulling your pelvis back, your arms moving forward, and your spine getting caught in the tug of war. And then let's walk the left hand to the right foot and right hand on your low back and twist and look up. And it's optional, hand down or your arm comes up, and your palm is going to be facing the space ahead of you. And let's do the other side. Walk across, right hand, left foot, left hand on your low back, and maybe left arm comes up. So I'm not center line. I'm really taking my head and my torso to the left. And release. And hands onto the low back. Come on up. So again, I think the way you are, like Olivia, your position is great on your mat. I'm facing forward. I just took to like facing forward. So we'll just kind of see how this works. You can see binding, lots of binding in the earthing poses, because you bind, you create kind of like a knot, and then the pleasure is in coming out of the knot. You have a knot in a string and you undo it. It's like, oh, okay. And it takes patience to undo knots. And sometimes there's knots in life that you have to undo. So I'm turning the right foot out, bending my right knee, and either it's extended side ankle, right elbow to knee, or right hand to ankle, or wrapping, and keeping your left shoulder back. Yeah, so it's fine to be extended or wrap. Breathing in. Exhale. come up. And I'm looking at time there. Yeah, okay, we'll take it to the other side. So let's come back through center, drop down into squat, wide squat, and up, and second side. So your left foot leads the way. Your left knee is bending, and maybe you're going to do what you did on the other side. Maybe elbow to knee, or hand reaching ankle, and some of you are wrapped. Rolling your right shoulder back, and breathe. Come on out. And then heels, toes, just walking, and then standing once again in mountain. Hands can be at your sides or hands at heart center. And we're making our way to sitting. And once we come to sitting, soles of the feet are together. Yeah. See if it feels any different. It does, doesn't it? I like that. It does for me. And how about the book? Does the book open up more? Do you open up to a different chapter? Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's open, more open, which makes me happier. I actually got 2 smiles out of the room, so that's good. Okay. Yes. So here's what I'm thinking. It could be, I'll just throw this out there. Okay, it could be that you'll take legs up the wall. You could just sit with legs up the wall, or some like to be in the middle of the room. In which case, you bring a block. And the third option is going to be a headstand. So I'm just putting that out there. So one is like, oh, legs up in the air, and this feels so nice. We're going to be here for a little bit. And if you're doing a headstand, you have to be confident. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I'll be at a wall or in the middle of the room. Do you do headstands? No. And do you do headstands? No. Okay. Just like, oh, okay. So I know some of you will. I think Joyce will, and maybe the kids will. So, anyways, I'm going to do one, but I'm going to suggest that why not? Oh, and by the way, legs up the wall goes like this, like you sidle up to the wall, and it's like heaven. And we're lucky here in the studio. This is a lot of wall space. Okay, and let's be here for What I like to say is those who are at home, use caution if you're doing inversions, because there's no one there to spot. If you, and I know some of you online went into your headstand, when you come out, make sure you're in child's pose for a moment. And those of you with legs in the air, elevated, it's easier to hold it for longer, right? It's a little less effort involved in holding, and it's so good for you. And Okay, and then from here, we're going to start to come lying in Shavasana. So you come out, if your legs are up the wall, come out and make yourself comfortable. So, I don't know if you know, there's bolsters in here. I'll grab it. Yeah, so it's so important to feel completely comfortable in Shavasana. And, it's worth your effort to do whatever you need to do so you're most comfortable. If you have a bolster, grab your bolster. And I would like you to completely relax your body. Remember, this is about tuning in, tuning in. It is tuning in to your interior. It's tuning into your environment, tuning in. And I like to guide and lead you a little bit. And what I would like you to do is to listen again to the words I spoke earlier, and I'll add a few of my own thoughts there. We are indigenous earth dwellers, rooted long in soil. And I want you to see trees, see yourself in an emerald forest, surrounded by trees so big, so old that you look up and the canopy nearly covers the sky. That light streams in beams. Hard graft. Sweat of brow, aching muscles, tillers of ground. And I just want you to see the hero. We did hero pose, the hero returning from doing the heroic deed, sitting down, relaxing, satisfied. The warrior, spiritual warrior, out to do some good, strong, flexible, confident. Tillers of ground, putting seeds of life and hope in dark places. Just seeing yourself sowing seeds of compassion, seeds of kindness, watching these seeds grow into giant trees into love, into smiles, into goodness. With expectations that one day we will see the fruit of our labors of harvest to come. And seeing yourself lying in Shavasana, completely relaxed, feeling the fruits of your efforts, the fruits of your labors today, how you work, how you breathe, and the fruits being the calm, clear mind, the stillness, the peacefulness inside. And then I'm going to have you start to move your hands and your feet and start to make your way to sitting